Welcome to this lecture series in Chemical Reaction Engineering 1. We'll continue with problem solving. Now we'll see example 9.6 and then the problem from exercise based on this. Find the size of adiabatic plug flow reactor to react feed of example 9.5. So some data you have to take from example 9.5 which we already discussed. Fa0 is equal to 1000 moles per minute. Ca0 is 4 moles per liter to 80% conversion. So in example 9.5, we have seen the procedure of drawing operating lines with a slope of 1 by 72. Okay, and then we have to evaluate the integral for each of these trial operating lines, and then by trial and error procedure we will come at the best set of data. So integral 0 to xa dxa by minus Ra, this is our plug flow reactor model. To find which is smallest. So for each integral, you have each value we have to evaluate the integral. So the figures in the book E 9.6, that is solution of problem example 9.6 A and B. So this is A and B. Okay. So these lines etc. I will explain you from the figure. So this is the figure which has been taken from this solved example. Here the rates from the charts are designed for Ca is equal to Ca0 is equal to 1. Here Ca0 is equal to 4. So rates are to be multiplied by 4. And you find this line AB, then you shift it line CD and so on. So these are the adiabatic operating lines of slope 1 by 72 as we have seen in the previous example. So with these rates, these values are 4 times the values which have been shown on the chart of Ca0 is equal to 1. The curves will not change, only these values are changing. And you have to find out these optimum values here. So for 1 upon minus Ra value, so corresponding from these values of Ra, you can find out 1 upon Ra. Say if Ra is equal to 0.2, so the corresponding value will be 1 by 0.2. Okay, and that is 5. 5 into 0.2 is 1. So with this value of 5, the corresponding values you can go on plot. For example, you can see this value here. XA is 0.2 and this 1 upon RA value will be somewhere in between. So for XA value 0.2, so these values here, one value is there, here is also one value and so on. So here we have these values. So this you can refer to the charts and check the values, or from the tables which I have shown you earlier, computed with different values of range of minus Ra from 5 to 0.003. So for operating line AB, okay, this curve is there. For operating line CD, this is the curve. So in this way you have to do a lot of trial and error procedure and draw these curves, and which the curve which will give you this minimum area that you will suggest as a design. And also you can find the feed temperature. Feed is at 25 as usual, it is to be cooled to 16, and it passes through the reactor and leaves at 73.6, and then it is to be cooled again. So all these calculations also you can check from referring to the previous problem. We have done it in two problems. So this particular area under the curve, okay, this is between 0 to 6, and this is extended further. So there is a break discontinuity here, and the last value is for 1 upon minus RA is 25. Okay. So FA0 into integral y dx, that is area under the curve for CD, because this is lower, so this will give you the less area, so that is preferred. And that area under the curve 1.72 multiplied by 1000 is 1720 liter. So this volume is somewhat smaller than the volume of mixed flow reactor which we have calculated in example 9.5, but it is still almost 4 times than this value, more than 4 times, 405 liters, which has been found in example 9.4. So we'll compare in the end all these volumes obtained in the different kind of reactors. Problem 9.7 is based on this example which we have seen just now, 9.6. Ca0 was 4, now it is replaced, Ca0 is equal to 1. So only one change, that rates will be same. You will take same as given in the charts. You will not multiply it by 4, because original we have multiplied by 4 in the previous example. Fa0 remains unchanged. Now here Cpa will be 1000. Okay, because this is 1 from 4 to 1, so we have to multiply by 4. Slope will be 1000 by 18,000, that is 1 by 18. This also we have done previously. So from here you can see 80% conversion, this is 62. Then you calculate as you have calculated in this problem. So this value is 47.6. Ca0 is equal to 1 instead of 4. So minus Ra is equal to 1. So when minus Ra is equal to 1, that means in this equation, design equation, as for plug flow as well as for mixed flow, this value is in the denominator. Okay. So this is from 4 to 1. Okay. It is 1/4. So this value is changed to 1/4. So when Ca0 is equal to whatever the volume is there, for 4, for Ca0 is equal to 1, it will be 4 times. So it 1720 multiplied by 4, 6880 liters. The only change is in rate, rest of the things remain same. Example 9.7. So repeat example 9.6. Now allow the recycle to the product stream. Now you can see this recycle ratio with this is the same plot. Okay, same optimum plot as shown earlier. So here with this curve you can see up to this point, you will operate it as plug flow reactor. and that point is located at XA is equal to 0.36. Okay, XA is equal to 0.36 here. And then if you operate it again as a plug flow, this will be the large area, whereas this is very small area. If you use mixed flow first from here, so this will be the large area. So we use this, it is as a function of conversion. So we are starting from here. If it is as a function of concentration, you start here. So your first reactor, instead of plug flow, because this will be the area under the curve, will prefer this mixed flow first and then followed by plug flow. So this scheme we can propose. That means in a recycle reactor, you know, this is plug flow reactor. You add recycle, and at some moderate ratio of recycle ratio, it will have characteristics of both. So equivalent is this model. So this mixed flow reactor first and then PFR, because if you take the mixed flow reactor, then this will be the rectangle will be very large. So we take this area under the curve. Okay, this area under the curve. So total area under the curve will be this rectangle plus this area under the curve. Now what has been done by eye judgment, you can see this area, particular area, and this area of the remaining part here, which comes under this rectangle, is almost equal. So instead of counting the rectangles here, we consider this area almost equal. That means if I find out the area of this rectangle, this will represent the area under the curve. Okay, so this complete rectangle, it's easy. 0.8 minus 0 multiplied by 1.5. 0.8 minus 0 multiplied by 1.5. It is 1.2 liter minutes per mole. Okay, so this will have the units of 1 upon minus RA. This is dimensionless. So V is FA0 into area. FA0 is 1000 into area is 1.2. So this comes out to be 1200 liters. Okay. So this recycle stream is similar to or equivalent to if you use mixed flow reactor. For this you can find out separate volumes also. Volume of mixed flow reactor required from this rectangle, and volume of plug flow reactor this area under the curve or this rectangle, because these areas are same. So both you can find out and add. So that will be 0.36 minus 0 into 1.5 and zero point 0.8 minus 0.44 into 1.5 and total. Okay. So here we are using recycle, which is equivalent to mixed flow followed by the plug flow, and the transition is at 0.36. 9.8. Now we have to redo this example. 9.7 with Ca0 is equal to 1 mole per liter instead of 4 moles per liter. Again same thing, Fa0 remains unchanged. So here in this problem, this one remains same, everything remains same, except this is changed to 1. So volume will be 4 times as we have seen in the previous problem. So 4 into 1200, that is 800 liters. And now these are results are summarized. These are summarized in the book of the solved examples number 4, 5, 6, 7. So number 4 was plug flow with optimum temperature progression, 405. Adiabatic plug flow reactor, 1720. Okay. Mixed flow reactor, 2000. And adiabatic recycle reactor, 1200. Okay. So you can see here in adiabatic reactor it is 1200. So far, before studying this optimal temperature progression business, if we apply the previous things, naturally in the recycle reactor will get minimum because it is the best combination of plug flow and mix flow. Then plug flow reactor, it will be more than recycle, which was the best, and in mix flow it is still more. So mix flow maximum, in between you have plug flow, and lowest is recycle reactor. Okay, so this is adiabatic plug flow. But if you go for plug flow with optimal temperature progression, it is only 405. So you can see the difference. So we will operate at optimal temperature progression, and you know the advantage of operating at optimal temperature progression. So this is to be found out and operated. So industrial reactor are always optimally designed and operated. So this is 405, which is the least one. Then for examples, based on these solved examples, we have problem 9.5, 9.6, 9.7 and 9.8. So with optimum temperature progression, we have now used Ca0 is equal to 1 instead of Ca0 is equal to 4. So multiplied by 4. 1620, 8000, 6880 and 4800. Okay. Uh, so here also same thing, because everything is multiplied by 400. So this is the best one, optimum temperature progression. And if you leave this aside, best will be the recycle reactor, then plug flow and then mix flow. Okay. Now we'll see product distribution and temperature. If two competing steps in multiple reactions have the rate constants K1 and K2, so we are considering competing steps means parallel reactions. Then the relative rates of these steps are given by K1 by K2, that is equal to K10 e raised to minus E1 by RT divided by K20 e raised to minus E2 by RT. This frequency factor ratio we can write K10 by K20, and this we can combine as e raised to E2 minus E1 by RT. When this minus E2 goes in the numerator, it becomes plus. So e raised to E2 minus E1 by RT. So there is a proportionality between this ratio K1 by K2 and the term exponential E2 minus E1 by RT. This ratio will change with the temperature depending on whether E1 is greater or it is smaller than E2. So if you check, when the temperature rises, if E1 is greater than E2, this ratio will increase. With the rise in temperature, if E1 is less than E2, this ratio K1 by K2 will decrease. And for parallel reactions, this is our guideline for the further analysis for the relationship between product distribution and temperature. So we can say the reaction with larger activation energy is more temperature sensitive. Reaction which is having larger activation energy, it will be more temperature sensitive between these two reactions under consideration. This finding leads to the following general rule on the influence of temperature on the relative rates of competing reactions. So reaction in parallel. A gives R, A also gives S. R is desired product and S is unwanted product. Now we'll apply this rule to find the proper temperature of operations for various types of multiple reactions. So for parallel reactions, what we want, R is desired. So we want to increase this rate and suppress this rate. So we want to promote this reaction and suppress this reaction. So K1 by K2, this we want to promote, so K1 by K2 should be made as large as possible. So for E1 greater than E2, if E1 is greater than E2, then we will use high temperature, and if E1 is less than E2, we will use low temperature. Why? Because see, this ratio will increase and we want to increase this ratio if E1 is greater than E2, and the reaction with the larger activation energy is more temperature sensitive. So if E1 is greater than E2, this is more temperature sensitive, so we will use high T, and if E1 is less than E2, we'll carry out the reaction at a low temperature so that this K1 by K2 will be made as large as possible. Then for reactions in series, A gives R gives S. Here, as usual, our R is desired product. S also can be desired product, but here R is desired product. Then again, this K1 we have to promote and this we have to suppress. So K1 by K2 ratio is increased. So maximum ratio will give you maximum R. So we want to keep this ratio as high as possible. So if E1 is greater than E2, you will use high temperature. E1 is less than E2, we will use the low temperature with the same arguments. For series parallel reaction, we have to introduce two additional considerations. First of all, parallel step. If one requirement is for high temperature and another is of low temperature, so this A gives R, A gives S, A gives T. This we are considering. Three reactions are competing now, and it is mentioned that E1 is greater than E2. This E1 is greater than E2, and E1 is less than E3. So we have one requirement for high temperature and another requirement for low temperature. So when we compare this and when we compare this, E1 greater than E2 and E1 is less than E3, this is mentioned. Then a particular intermediate temperature. So we have here contradicting demands for R desired. So we want high temperature also, okay, for this reaction, and low temperature for this reaction. So we will try to attempt and fix up some intermediate temperature which is best and giving you most favorable product distribution, that is maximum possible R. E1 is greater than E2. There is a requirement of high temperature. E1 is less than E3. There is a requirement of low temperature for this parallel step. A step in series, if we consider, if an early step needs high temperature and later step needs low temperature in series reaction, then falling progression of temperature should be used. So you should start with high and then end up with low, second reaction with low. So similar arguments hold for other progressions. Now we'll see the problems based on this product distribution and temperature dependence. 9.10, qualitatively find the optimum temperature progression to maximize CS. Reaction scheme is A gives R gives S gives T further. This is in series. Then we have competing reactions for A is giving R, at the same time A is giving UU. R is giving S and R is giving V. S is giving T and L also giving W. Okay, so we have 6 individual reactions and 6 rate constants. So for these reactions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have E1 is equal to 10, E2 is equal to 25, E3 is 15, E4 is 10, E5 is 20 and E6 is 25. So all these values are given. Now here first S is desired product. If S is desired, we want R maximum. R also we want. Unless R is formed, S cannot be formed. Then we should try for maximum R. Maximum R means this reaction to be promoted, this is to be depressed. Now R gives S. Here we want S desired. So this is to be promoted and this is to be suppressed or depressed. And further S is desired product. So we should discourage the formation of T and W. So we want to suppress both these reactions. Here you can see E1 is 10 and E2 is 25. So E1 is less than E2. So to favor this formation of R, we have to operate at low temperatures. At low temperature at the beginning of the reaction to produce more R. Then when we compare E3 and E4, E3 and E4, E3 is greater than E4. So increasing temperature will favor. So when we have to increase the temperature when the reaction has already advanced and we have got sufficient R produced. So lowering the temperature uh, is here helping the formation of R. But increasing temperature is favoring the formation of S, and S is desired product. So once the considerable amount of R is formed at low temperature, will increase the temperature so that more S is produced, which is the desired product. Here S giving T and W. So in this series reaction, A gives R gives R gives S gives T. Here if we compare, so we'll compare E3 and E5. So here E3 is less than E5. Similarly, this is E6 is forming W and E3 is also less than E6. Okay, so we want to suppress this. So lowering the reaction temperature in final stages, the reaction will reduce the consumption of S to form T and W. So we can maximize the concentration of S. So this by simple arguments we can decide about how the temperature progression should be qualitatively. So you will start at low temperature, then operate at high temperature, and when sufficient S is formed, your aim is to suppress the formation of T and W. So you will further lower this temperature. Next 9.11. The first order reactions are to be run in two mixed flow reactors in series anywhere between 10 and 90 degrees Celsius. If the reactors may be kept at different temperatures, at what should be the temperatures for maximum fractional yield of S? Okay, we want maximum fractional yield of S. S is our desired product, and we have to find this fractional yield. That maximum, we have to maximize it and report the value. Reaction is A gives R gives S. A also gives T with the rate constant K2. R gives U with the rate constant K4. and these rate constants are K1 and K3. So we have A gives R gives S in series, and A gives R, A gives T, first parallel reaction, and R giving S and R giving you second parallel reaction. So these are competing, these are competing. S is desired product. So naturally we want maximum R also, and R not maximum R not at the final stages, but in between we want more and more R so that S is formed. So again we can operate in stages. We manage our temperature such that R formation of R is promoted, and later on the formation of S is promoted. So this K1, K2, K3, K4, these frequency factors 10 raised to 9, 10 raised to 7, 10 raised to 8, 10 raised to 12, and our activation energies E1 is 6 minus E1 6000, E2 4000, this E3 is 9000, this is 12,000. So from the given data we know activation energies and frequency factors, so we can find out K1, K2, K3, K4, okay, by Arrhenius law. So K1 is equal to frequency factor into E raised to E by RT. So these values are given, okay. So E1, E2, E3, E4 are 6000, 4000, 9000 and 12,000 respectively. So this K1, K2, K3, K4 are calculated at 283 and 363. So we have to operate between 10 and 90. So 10 degrees Celsius plus 273 and 90 plus 273. So 283 and 363 is the temperature. At these temperatures, we have found out K1, K2, K3, K4. So these 8 values we have from the given values of frequency factor and these activation energies. Also at these temperatures, we have calculated the ratio K1 by K2 and K3 by K4. So K1 by K2 we want R, so that is to be maximized. K3 by K4 we want more S, so that is also to be maximized, so maximum possible. Now if you look at these values, first compare first pair of competitive reactions E1 and E2, reaction 1 and 2. E1 is greater than E2, so reaction A gives R and A gives S, so we want maximum R when this is carried out at high temperature, because E1 is greater than E2. So we'll operate first set, we have set of two mixed flow reactors. So first mixed flow reactor will operate at higher temperature and we have limit from 10 to 90. So we'll prefer to operate at highest, that is 90 degrees Celsius. So Ca0 is entering, Ca1 will leave, and here Ca2 is leaving. Second set, if we compare, here E3 is less than E4. That means lower temperature will favor R gives S. So, and this we want to favor. So we'll operate second mixed flow reactor at lower temperature, and that lowest temperature we can operate is 10 degree. So we'll operate at 10 degree. So we'll take the product from the first MFR to second MFR when most of A is converted to R. So that depends on other parameters, so many calculations. So you can get some idea about when it will be achieved, and at that time, that means CR max, at which time T max it will occur, that you know. This if you operate in batch reactor or plug flow reactor. Plug flow reactor, this parameter tau maximum, when CR will be set at maximum, so you will fix up your tau accordingly. So from the distribution point of view, based on these activation energies, we can decide this. Okay. So at 10 degree, this ratio is more, and at 90 degree this ratio is more. So this will operate first reaction will be promoted at 90 and second at 10 degrees Celsius. Again, we have to find out maximum fractional yield and this value of fractional yield. So this we will find out. This is instantaneous yield R by A. This we will write as dCr by minus dCA. This is K1Ca divided by K1Ca plus K2Ca. So this K1, K2, K3, K4, and all reactions, it is mentioned that these are first order. So Ca can be taken out, Ca cancel out. This ratio K1 by K1 plus K2 is calculated. This comes out to be 0.288 at 90 degree. Similarly, second, S by R. Here we want more R. Second reaction we want more S. So dCs by minus dCr, again K3Cr divided by K3Cr plus K4Cr. And Cr, you take out common, it cancels out. K3 by K3 plus K4 gives you the value of 0.801 at 10 degree. Okay. So second set of parallel reaction we are operating at 10 degree in the second reactor, and first one at 90. So these values we have found out. We want this instantaneous fractional yield of S. So to obtain this S by A, if we multiply these two, okay, S by R and R by A, R cancels out and we get S by A. So we have to take the product of these two. So S by A is nothing but K1 by K1 plus K2, that is 0.288, and K3 by K3 plus K4, that is 0.801. So this is 0.23. Okay, this value is 0.23. Next, 9.12. The reversible first order gas phase reaction. Reaction is gas phase, is carried out in a mixed flow reactor. For the operation at 300 Kelvin, the volume of the reactor required is 100 liters for 60% conversion. So in mixed flow reactor, if you calculate, if you find out the volume, it is 100 liters for 60% conversion. Reaction is first order and gas phase. What should be the volume of this reactor for the same feed rate? Okay, and conversion. So feed rate and conversions are maintained, but the operation is now at 400. So we have to find out the volume at 400 for 60% conversion and the same feed rate. Data provided is K1 in the form of this equation 10 raised to 3 exponential minus 2416 by T. Delta Cp is 0. Delta HR is minus 8000 calorie per mole at 300 Kelvin. So at this operating temperature. K is 10 at 300 Kelvin. Feed consists of pure A and total pressure stays constant. So reaction is first order reversible. So we know minus Ra is equal to K1 Ca0 into 1 minus Xa minus K2 Ca0 Xa. Tau we can write as Vm by V0 Ca0 Xa by minus Ra. So if I write this Ca0 Xa by minus Ra, Ca0 will cancel out, and this V0 I can write as Vm into K1 into 1 minus Xa minus K2 Xa, and this Xa goes in the denominator. So V0 can be found out. We want K1, equation we know. So at 300 we'll find out K1. So temperature you substitute in Kelvin. It is given in Kelvin, so you substitute in Kelvin. If it is given in centigrades or Celsius, you just add 273. So this value we get 0.318 minute inverse. Now we have this equation, V0 is equal to Vm into this complete bracket. So at 300 we know the volume of the reactor. Okay, Vm. K1 we have calculated 60% conversion. So all the values are substituted. V0 at 300 is found out as 18.02 liters per minute. Now at 400, same rate is used, same volumetric rate is used, same feed rate is used, and uh, this same for the same conversion we have to find out. So capital K is our equilibrium constant. This we want to find out at 400 Kelvin. Okay, it is reported at 300. Okay, so we can see this. K is 10 at 300. So we want to find out at 400. So what we will do? We will use the equations which we have used many times earlier. This K at 300, that is 10, multiplied by exponential. This 8000, this value is given 8000 at 300. So this is at 300, this is at 300. R value 1.987 in the units of calories, because this is 8000 calorie per mole. If it is given in joules per mole, then you use another constant 8.312. 1 by 400 minus 1 by 300. So this K value we get 286.5 at 400. Similarly, you find K1 rate constant at 400. So simply this T is replaced by 400, and this value you get 2.381 minute inverse. K2 you can find out K1 by capital K, and that comes out to be 0.0083. Okay. So volumetric rate at 400, as we have found it for 300, this will be relationship between this volumetric rate and these new values which will be calculated at 400 Kelvin. So we can write Vm at 400, this is unknown. K1 at 400, 2.381. Same conversion 60%. Minus K2 is 0.0083. 0.6. So what we get is Vm, which is our unknown, multiplied by 1.579. Okay. So here also we have found out K1, K2 can be found out. This divided by 10 simply, because at V0 at 300 Kelvin that value is 10. So one decimal will be shifted. So we got this relationship. V0 at 400 will be Vm at 400 multiplied by this completely. Similarly, it was here V0 at 300, Vm at 300, which was given value, multiplied by this complete bracket, whatever the value comes. So value of this bracket is 1.579. So Vm at 400 will be V0 at 400 Kelvin divided by 1.579. Okay, V0 at 400 Kelvin divided by 1.579. So we know V0 at 300 that we have calculated as 18.02. So it is a gas phase reaction. So we have to apply temperature correction. So multiply by 400 and divide by 300. This will represent V0 at 400. This is at 300. So we have to multiply by 400 and divide by 300. Universal gas law, PV is equal to nRT, that applies because the reaction is gas phase. So this value finally comes out to be 15.21 liters. So volume at 400 is 15.21 liters. So what should be the volume of the reactor for the same feed rate and same conversion but at 400? So this we have found out. And here we come to the end of our chapter number 9. So we have seen temperature dependence mostly, and we have found out the relationships. We have seen the charts for conversion as a function of temperature for different rates, and that we have used in problem solving. So we have solved many problems based on those charts, how to construct those charts, that also I have explained to you. And this about the distribution of the product for series parallel or series parallel combinations, how the temperature distribution should be, what kind of temperature arrangement we should have, and that depends mostly on the comparison of the values of activation energy between two competitive reactions or between two reactions in series. So we will stop here today, and in our next lecture we'll start with the new topic, that is introduction to non-ideal reactors. So far we have studied ideal reactors and all the analysis we have done in ideal reactors for homogeneous cases, liquid phase reactions, gas phase reactions. Now in the next chapter we'll look into non-idealities, and all real systems will not be ideal. Ideal systems are based on certain assumptions in which in reality it will not follow ideality. There will be deviations from ideality, and how that can be taken care and modeled, and that finally leads to modeling of non-ideal reactors. In this BTech course will not get into it. Those will go for post graduations. They will study design of non-ideal reactors in details, all the models and so on. So you will be introduced to the concept of non-ideality. Then the concept of residence time distribution or exit age distribution, which is very important. And then there are three types of curves: C curve, E curve, and F curve, to be constructed from different experiments. And these experiments to be carried out are called tracer experiments, and we have to provide different kinds of input. So one is pulse input, another is step input. So it is similar to your step change and pulse change in process control what we use, but here it is used totally in a different way. So we'll continue with introduction to non-ideal reactors in our next lecture. Today we stop here.